Hi everyone and welcome. Today let's combine a cake and a dessert and make a small, soft, light and airy apple mousse cake with Greek yogurt. Let's set the oven to heat to 180 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We need to prepare apple puree for the mousse cake and bake 2 apples for that. Preferably choose sour apples, as they will give more flavor to the cake. If you want, you can also cook the apples in a small pot on the stove. I will peel, core, and cut the apples in small pieces for them to bake faster. I have greased a baking dish with some butter and will put all the apple pieces in it. Sprinkle cinnamon over the apples and a tablespoon of sugar. And put the apples to bake till they're very soft. I will mix them once in a while. The apples are soft in about 30 minutes. Let's remove them from the oven, let cool for a few minutes, and blend. If you want the apples to be super smooth, press them through a sieve. And let's leave the apple puree to cool to room temperature. I want the whole cake to be soft. Therefore, let's bake a very simple sponge cake base for it. First, I will put a piece of parchment paper in a springform cake pan with a removable bottom and grease it with some oil, bottom and the sides. Separate an egg yolk from the egg white. Add a tablespoon of sugar to the egg yolk and beat it with a mixer till it's light and fluffy. Let's add a tablespoon of flour to the egg yolk batter and mix to combine. As last, let's add a pinch of salt to the egg white and beat it till it forms stiff peaks. And gently fold the egg white in the rest of the batter. Let's put the batter in the prepared cake pan and in the oven to bake for about 10 to 15 minutes till the sponge has lightly browned. Time to remove the sponge cake from the oven and let it cool completely as well. It has grown nicely. While cooling, it will flatten a bit. I will leave it cool slowly in the cake pan. Let's prepare the mousse for the cake now. First, I will put gelatin in a small pan with a bit of water and leave it soak. Now let's put the apple puree in a big bowl and add to it about half of the remaining sugar and the Greek yogurt. I will mix it well together so that the batter is somewhat fluffy. Let's dissolve now the gelatin on low heat, either in the same pan or using a water bath. And let it cool a little while we beat the whipping cream with the remaining sugar. Now let's gradually add the gelatin to the apple batter while mixing. And fold in the whipped cream. Taste the mousse to see if you want it sweeter. especially if you use sour apples. I don't make the cake very sweet as I want to be able to taste the sourness of apples. The mousse is ready. Before putting it on top of the sponge cake, I will drizzle about 2/3 of a tablespoon of liquor on top of it to give it a bit of moisture. You can skip this and leave the sponge as is or use milk instead of alcohol. And pour the mousse batter over the sponge cake and level. Now we need to put the cake in the fridge and let the mousse set for at least a few hours or best overnight. The gelatin has done its job and the mousse has set. I'll run a knife around the edges of the cake, remove it from the cake pan and put on a plate, and smoothen the sides where necessary. You can decorate the cake as you wish. I want to give it a little wintry feeling and will make small snowballs to put on top. For that, I will mix a few teaspoons of condensed milk with dry shredded coconut and a few drops of lemon juice to form somewhat of a paste, which can be squeezed and shaped into small balls. I will roll the balls in some dry coconut flakes and they are ready. For a dark red ball, I'm adding a teaspoon of raspberry jam to the mixture. Let's use the remaining dry coconut to sprinkle the cake, put the snowballs on top, and enjoy. Thank you for joining me today and see you next week. Bye!